a guy who knows a lot about pitching. And by the way, great, perfect timing for Tommy Greene. Not only did Tommy Greene throw a no-hitter, we told you on Friday that it was May 23rd, which was yesterday, 1991. So 30 years ago, that no-hitter happened. Tommy Greene, all these no-hitters going on in baseball. Good, bad, indifferent. A lot of baseball conversation right now with former Phillies pitcher Tommy Greene right now on the Boardwalk Honda hotline as he joins me here on a Sports Bash Monday. Tommy, what's going on, pal? How you been? I got you there. There we go. So first off, I know every time that that no-hitter comes up May 23rd, 1991, probably your phone starts going off. Hey, remember that, remember that. But can you believe it was 30 years ago?
It makes me feel real old to hear it put that way. Yeah, we're getting another year older, man. That's about all it is. It seems like it was a couple weeks. Seems like it was a couple years ago it happened, but it's amazing how time flies.
Yeah, 10 strikeouts in that game, 7 walks. When you see Tommy as a guy who did it, you threw a no-hitter in a Major League Baseball game. It's an amazing accomplishment. When you see as many of them that are happening in baseball right now, what kind of goes through your mind? Is that like, wow, that's a great accomplishment 6 times, or does it kind of lose its luster a little bit? You're a guy who threw one. You're in that fraternity. So when you see it happening so much, what are you thinking?
Well, I'll tell you, it kind of goes in cycles. I think there was a few thrown in 91. If I remember, it was 5 or 6 thrown then. It kind of, and then it might go years where it doesn't happen that much at all. You might have one year, and it skips a couple years. You have 4 or 5, and it's that type of things. But I credit a lot of it to the hard work. To the pitchers take care of themselves now. You got a lot of guys who throw. A lot more guys that throw hard, compared to like we used to back in the day. It's not that we didn't throw hard like they did. We just didn't have as many guys that threw hard like that. So guys take care of themselves so much more, physically in the off season and during the season. They got nutritionists and stuff like that. I didn't know what that was when I played. So it's one of those type of things. So that's kind of the way it goes. If you go through the batting order 3 or 4 times and you're not giving up a hit, that's a major accomplishment. I don't care, when you do it or how many people do it. It's a unbelievable feat for you to make quality pitches like that. And it's not just you doing it, but you got to. It's a team effort to make things happen like that. And sometimes they're making diving plays, and in my case, we didn't have any plays like that. So it was a sort of a ho-hum type game, but it was a 1-0 game to the 9th, and we scored a run and made it 2-0, and I was able to get it. See, these guys, these days, they're throwing hard, and it's a great feat to see them do.
Yeah, I know that, the one big thing is, if I recall, that was an early game, right? That was like a day game. I think it was like a getaway day, and you had not really been starting all that much. I think you kind of got like, hey, you're going to start today. So mentally, like that has to be mentally fatiguing at what point of that game does it start to enter your mind? Like all that kind of stuff kind of comes into play. But do you remember that day being like, my God, I got a no-hitter going on here?
Well, it was one of those games where I'll stretch out in spring training to be a starter, and Nick Glaber picked. He wanted a veteran starter to be in the 5-man rotation, and he chose Dave LaPointe over me. He was left-handed, didn't throw like I did, but he wanted a veteran guy in there. So, but I was stretched out there 100 pitches, and I was ready to go. So the first month of the season, basically shows you what a year we had. And I had more innings than all the starters did coming out of the pen, except for Terry Mulholland. So basically, I was starting. Yeah. I was coming in early in ball games and basically getting a lot of innings. So that type of thing. But Danny Cox got hurt, and after Fregosi took over, and he got hurt, pulled a groin or something. They knew he was going to miss about at least 3 starts, and Fregosi told me, you got the next 3 starts, so prepare yourself to do that.
Yeah,
and it happened to be the first start. Did I do it? And then
that's awesome.
People don't realize people don't realize that I probably threw a better game the following fifth day. The next game I pitched back home in Philly, pitched against Montreal again and threw a 3-hit shutout and didn't walk nobody. So that's the game, that's sort of a validation game I'm real proud of too. So.
Yeah. Well, I know if people forget, you were with Atlanta and the Phillies traded for you, and they had Leo Mazzoni, who was a all-time great pitching coach, and he kind of helped you throw that no-hitter going back because he kept getting on you like, hey, man, when are you going to finish one of these things off?
That's exactly right. And you've heard probably the story before. I told that I had 3 in the minor leagues, and Leo was my pitching coach with the Braves, and I had 1 in A-ball, 1 AA, 1 in AAA, and I had 2 strikes, 2 outs on the last batter and lost all 3 of them. And that's what he said on one of the last ones. When you going to finish one of these bleeping things off, So that's who I thought about when I had two outs, and Tim Wallach stepped in the box, and I started stepping up on the back of the mound. I thought about Leo, said, "This one's for you, you little bleeping." And I went right at him. I said, "I'm not jacking around with him." I said, "I'm going right down the middle with him." And he hit a ball back, hit that one hopper back to me. He was probably one of the hardest hit balls all day.
Oh, man. Tommy Greene's with us. By the way, if you've ever been to Cooperstown, Tommy Greene's cap and the ball is in the museum that you can check out as a guy who threw one of the Major League Baseball no-hitters. I forget where we're at now because it started, I think it's 311 no-hitters that have been thrown, and Tommy Greene is one of just 311 guys who have thrown one in Major League Baseball history. We've seen 6 this year, so I thought it was really cool to get a guy who threw one, and also it happened to be 30 years ago yesterday, so this all kind of timed out perfectly. When I texted you, Tommy, I kind of got sidetracked. I said, I do this segment called Do You Remember? And it was the weekend edition, May 23rd, 1981. Do you remember Tommy Greene throw this no-hitter? I said, I'll text Tommy Greene, see if I can't get him to talk about it. And then all these no-hitters have happened since then. But what I want to kind of talk about is what we've seen from Zach Wheeler. Here's a guy who, throws so hard. But I got to tell you, if I need a game and I'm the Phillies, am I going Wheeler or am I going Nola? Which of those guys impresses you more?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, right now, Aaron is trying to find something right now, and you go through times where you scuffle. And right now, the consistent guy has been obviously Wheeler, day in and day. I mean, every time he seems to the post, he's got the command, and with basically all his pitches, and he's executing. And when you start doing that, now he added in a little more wrinkle. I saw him add it in yesterday a little bit. He threw some curveballs, which was even better because he's hard all the time, with that hard breaking ball, hard fastball. So your command has to be really, really good, and that's the way it's been. You have to tip your caps and give him the kudos for it, man, because he's had a good so far in his first couple months of the season. He's been right there. He's been a solid guy.
Yeah, he has been a lot of fun to watch, and as you mentioned, Nola kind of finding his way. It seems that he'll give you that brilliant game, and then he kind of, struggles for a game. Then he'll give you 2 good ones. Like to see some more consistency there. But, Tommy, this is a team that pitches pretty well, but they strike out more times than any other team in the National League. And you wonder, can you be a winning team I know the game is so different, and it's almost like if you were pitching today, man, you'd be like, man, I'm getting 10 strikeouts a night against these clowns the way they're swinging the baseball bat. But can you be a winning team striking out that many times?
It's hard to fathom. I mean, I realized it that much where I do. I mean, to me, to win baseball on base, you have to make more contact, And there was one game in particular this past week where I don't think they hit a home run. They scored, I don't know how many runs, and they manufactured run, and that was such a good sight to see. They laid down the bunt. They hit some doubles, and they took the extra base. Relentless and swinging. These days, you see the swinging up, and the analytics is, get the launch angle and get the ball in the air and hope home runs and stuff like that. I mean, it was a good sight to see that. They need to make more contact, and when you make contact, good things can happen. Because if you're swinging and missing all the time, I mean, you're just giving outs to your opponent, and it's hard to win and get consistent, stay consistently in ball games and win ball games like that. I think that's just my opinion.
I would imagine, Tommy. I mean, you were a guy who threw what? Where were you sitting fastball?
Well, it's hard to. We didn't keep it like they did today. I didn't even know they had a gun where they did things, but you never knew how hard you threw. So but they didn't show it on the board or anything like that. It was a different type of gun. It got it at the plate.
Right.
Too. We used what they call a ray gun. Now they use what they call a judge gun, by what I know, which gets it out of your hand. And I sat somewhere probably, I want to say, on the low gun, which it could be 3 to 5 mile hours difference. I said anywhere from, probably 90, 92 to 95 on that low gun, which you're looking at 3 to 5 ditches. You're talking, mid to 95, 96, 97, somewhere like that. It could be, because that's what I was told. I was coming out of high school throwing at 93 to 98 on that high gun.
By the way, I had seen people that said that they were golfing with you and said that you look like you could still get up there and pitch. So if you're throwing 92, 94, I suggest you get up there and maybe give them an inning out of the bullpen.
I wish that was the case. If you saw me throw out the first pitch of that, I'd try to throw a knuckleball because everything hurts and I don't know where it's going.
By the way, Tommy Greene threw no-hitter number 226 in Major League Baseball history, and you're right, that year, Nolan Ryan, you threw a no-hitter in the same year as Nolan Ryan. How about that? Dennis Martinez, Wilson Alvarez, Brett Saberhagen, and then there was a couple of combined no-hitters that season.
Yes.
So there was a bunch. So your no-hitter out of 311 was number 226 all time. They can never take that away from you. Only 311 times that has happened. It's got to be an awesome feeling for Tommy Greene. But when you see this team this year, this Phillies team, does it look like a contender, or does it look like another year where they're just going to be kind of spinning wheels?
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, you look at the standings today in the NL East, and what are we, a game and a half back?
Yep.
And after us played as inconsistent as we have played defensively, offensively, and sometimes pitching, we haven't been on a consistent run yet. So if they should together, right now we're hurt, we're injured, and we got to have our health. You got guys we're missing in that order. That is a huge thing. And we have to figure out the back end of that rotation too. So I mean, there's some things that still can happen for them to be a half game out right now, and they're really going back and forth between first and second. I think it's a blessing. I think they're in a good spot to get things right when they get healthy, and they can maybe get on a run, because anybody, if they can do it, they got the talent there to do it. It's just consistency, right? Getting it going in the right direction and doing the little things to get it going. Yeah, so I mean, it's a possibility. They're going to have to work hard to get it there.
Well, one team that's given them problems is the Marlins, and they'll face them coming up tonight. It's Phillies and Marlins. Tommy Greene, great conversation, great stuff, as we told you. All these no-hitters, and that just coincided with his happened 30 years ago yesterday. Tommy Greene threw the 226th no-hitter in Major League Baseball history. And, of course, he, like all guests, appeared via the Boardwalk Honda hotline. All right, Tommy, it's good to catch up, man. And I got some other stuff for us coming down the ride. I'll be in touch.
All right, Mike. Appreciate it, brother.
All right, Tommy Greene, everybody. There you go. 1991, he beat the Montreal Expos